Record.
Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're recording, and we have Amber Tillinghast. That's how we pronounce it, right?
Yes.
We are so excited to have you. Um,
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody else on the team has seen, but you are always in the leaderboards. I see your name all the time in Zaya Life, and you are someone that like really caught my eye, and I was like, we need to have Amber on the call. So we're really excited to learn from you. So guys, for those of you who haven't seen Amber in like the larger page on the leaderboards and all that kind of stuff, she is a double Zaya executive. She has quadruple ranked in her first month with Zaya, and in 6 months has built an organization with over 260 people and averages sales of 12 to 10,000 in sales each month. That's crazy. So we are
Yeah.
so excited to learn from you.
Okay. I didn't write anything down because I feel like sometimes that just diverts me from like just sharing my heart. So I'll just tell you guys a little bit of background about me. I was with another company for 3 years prior to joining this company. And so I have built up a little bit of a network prior to joining Zaya. I'm involved in a lot of different communities. I am a people person. I meet new friends all the time. Everywhere I go, I'm just someone that loves to talk to people. And, I've been thinking a lot about attraction marketing, and not just thinking a lot about it, but doing it. And it is working. I have woken up the last 2 mornings with people that have never tried Zaya saying, I want to sign up. Like, tell me about the business. And I'm like, wow. I think energy and manifesting are so important when you are working your business, because thoughts become things. And when I'm going through my messages and I'm messaging with people, I'm thinking to myself, like, why would these people not want to sign up? Like, why would these people not want to have a party and get free stuff, or like join my organization? Why would they not want to do that? Because I know that for me, it's changed my life. And I used to spend hours on the internet shopping at boutiques, wearing clothes that I didn't get paid for. And like, this is right now, especially, like, amazing magic is happening right now. People that are, that worked in offices are now working from home. They are having to replace their whole entire wardrobe. Last month I had a record. I sold $16,000 last month. It's parties. I work really hard. Because I just know, through the last company that I was with, it went through momentum, like what we're in right now. And I know that it's like such a sweet spot, and it's such a special time to be a part of something like this, that I want to take full advantage. I think it's really important to not judge what you think other people want or need. And we can really get into that, especially too, based on maybe our own energy. I hear people say, oh, like if I ask them to host a party and they go, oh, my friends are really broke right now. It's like, no, you're probably really broke right now. And you're just thinking that all of your friends are also really broke right now, which, isn't freaking true. So, you've got to protect your energy, and remember that you cannot judge what everybody else is going through, like based on what you got going on. Like, you're gonna have to just like claw your way out and like get positive with it. But people are looking for distraction. They're looking for friendship. They're looking for community. They're looking, especially now, like spending all day with their kids, like homeschooling them. Like, they need a freaking break, and they need Zaya in their life, and they need you and your community to be welcomed into. People are in debt. People like are depressed. there's so many different gifts that this business gives. So I just try to like put aside my emotions and just ask a simple question. You know, you follow up with them, you say, do you love your Zaya? Yes, I love my Zaya. You know, if they need a return or they need an exchange, you fix that as promptly as you sold them their leggings, girls, because customer service is like key. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. So, you know, it's fine if they're not happy with something. It's just how you respond to that. But you ask them like, hey, like, I know you love your Zaya. Would you like to hear more about the business? That's it. It's a simple question. You know, it's not annoying. And if that's enough to annoy someone, then like, do you really want, like, I don't want those weirdos in my life if I'm annoying them by asking them a question like that. But I think, and I tell my girls, like, if somebody asks you if you want a piece of gum, is that annoying to you? No, it's not annoying to you. You know, it's like either you want the gum or you don't want the gum. And if they say they don't want it, then to me, I always just think that means not right now. Because again, in my mind, I'm like, they're just afraid, you know, like they're probably afraid. And so the timing isn't right, you know, because who wouldn't want to join us, right? We know that this is amazing. So I just think to myself, not right now, it's going to be later, you know? So asking everybody, and people go like, who do I ask? Well, they don't start with the obvious list 99% of the time. When I ask my girls, have you gone through your order history and asked every single person that has ordered if they would like to hear more about the business? You know, they haven't done that. Your list is right there, you know? So and then just, you know, you can follow up with people in your group too. Or if you just have, you know, it's good to have like a chicken list or a list of people that you think would be good in this business. And with that manifesting, I'm telling you what, like that is like awesome. There is something to that. Like if you guys haven't seen The Secret, I love that DVD. But I have a list of women on my bulletin board that I look at every single day that I'm like, these women are going to join me in my business. And I'm crossing those names off that list. They're coming over. Like it is freaking happening because I say so. And I've just been digging into, you know, dialing into really putting my head down and, you know, thinking about what my goals are and having that like tunnel vision, like laser focus on, and I'm not in my peripheral looking at like what she's doing and what's she doing and scrolling on Facebook needlessly, like what's her got going on over there. No, it's time to buckle down, think about what you want, think about who you are, and show people that. Because you know, I think like whatever my first instinct is to post, for example, and then I try to talk myself out of it, like I should be doing exactly what I'm trying to talk myself out of doing, because that is where the magic happens, because that is your brand and nobody else can have that. So if you are, you know, I mean, like you can probably think about like some posts that you've made where you're like, wow, people really responded to that. And it was so like fly by the seat of my pants. Like, you know, just something could be something stupid. Like I love this cookie butter from Trader Joe's, you know, just for example, like just so lame, like you think lame, but people are drawn to it. And so I've been going live on my personal page, and I've been doing posts on my personal page where, because like I'm hopping all over the place, but like I hope you guys are getting something out of this. But your team are going to start with your customers. So the clothing to me, because I know that I want to have a great big team. I want to have a great big team of women that are thriving in this business, you know, like I am. I want us to do this together, because that's where I left my other company. I didn't have that. I didn't feel that. Like I want all the warm fuzzies. So we got to do this together. And your customers are going to be the ones that come to you that as your team members. Like they're a conduit. So I try to post pictures of myself in my outfits on my personal page and not so much talk about the outfit all the time. like, so it's a little more nonchalant, and that people, even if they are not necessarily a customer, or maybe they don't like the clothes, I try to think about what that person would, if they could, relate to it, basically, right? And also remembering too that your personal page is like a business card, really. Because especially if you're friending random people all the time, like I am, friending random people in parties, I friend people if we've got mutual friends, as long as they're not a Zaya rep. What do you do when somebody friends you, right? You hop on their page, you do a little quick scroll, see what is this person about. You want to make sure that you are putting your personality in there. Think about what somebody else would be seeing if they started to scroll through their page. And so I like to think about like five words that define you, and try to stay true to those things when you post. And before you post, think, is this reflecting one of those 5 words, that is about, that it's my brand, right? So today I posted a picture because I have my cute, Cobra print on in my leggings. And so I posted a picture of myself, and I just put Sundays are for snake print, and I have a tramp stamp. So I said, who else has a tramp stamp that they regret getting, And so like I advertised my snake print cute outfit. And then I also, said something relatable, and people loved it, and they commented, and they're like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, I want to cover it up, whatever. The other day I made a post. I had my cute rainbow bomber jacket on, and I said, don't anybody try to ruin this for me and tell me it's too early for fall. And like I sold a couple of those jackets that day. I got some new customers that were not in my group. That's why I try to, advertise outside of my group too, so that my friends that wouldn't want to be in my group are still going to get the clothes. And, hopefully I can funnel them in there, because that's where I like them all to be. And then with sponsoring too, you want to make sure that you are not word vomiting. Please don't word vomit, because you confuse them and lose them. You want to make sure that you are letting them lead the conversation. And by letting them lead the conversation, you're the one that's in control, because people will tell you with their objections. If you listen and you ask and you don't word vomit, they will tell you what their objections are. And your job is to deal with those objections. And when they tell you why they don't want to, that's like they're walking right into it. Like, exactly what their problem is, and your job is to solve it. So a lot of times, people will say like, I'm not a good salesperson, and you go like, well, I get curious when people say things like that. Well, why are you saying that? I'm curious. Have you sold something before? And if they say like, yeah, I did, and I was just terrible at it, I'm like, oh, like what were you selling? You're just chatting with them, and you're getting information from them so that you can really know how to speak to that person, right? And it's keeping them engaged is key, like not getting ignored, right? Because if you're like, blah, 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 business, join my team, sign up, and they're like, oh, ignore. If you get curious, then, and you can keep them in a dialogue, like that's the best place to be. So, if they say like, oh, I'm not, like, I don't know a lot of people. Well, a statistic is that every person knows 100 people, or I'll ask them like, would you be willing to let me help you? Like get better in these areas? Like we have trainings every week. And just always ending with a question too is like so important, because if you don't end with a question, then they don't have anything to answer, and you've lost control now. So always make sure that you end with a question when you're in this dialogue. I don't like the question to be, are you interested? Because it sounds like car salesman-y to me. So like, I'm not interested in things. I also don't like, let me know, because I feel like that's a really like passive question. Like, kind of let me know. Like, I like to be confident when I'm engaging in this dialogue. So, You know, I like to, a lot of times the questions for me are like, what are your thoughts? That works a lot. Or what other questions can I answer for you? Those are good at the end of a lot of different sentences. You know, another one might be like, what hesitations do you have? Like, what's keeping you from signing up right now? So I'd like to open it up for questions, because sometimes like I do really good if people have like particular questions that have come to your mind. I'd love to know what they are and help you with that.
Yeah, so that was really great. Some key nuggets there. And I love that you touched on attraction marketing, because we actually talked about that just the beginning of this past week, I believe. So would you say that you run most of your business from your personal page? Like that's where you get a majority of
No,
customers?
no.
No, no.
I do probably on an average 4 to 5 parties a week.
Okay. And then so is that like just backing off of party kind of thing? Is that how you're able to book?
Well, sometimes it's a combination of just customers and booking off of parties. I do it through Post My Party. Absolutely. Definitely have a posting template if you do not have a posting template. I just don't like putting all my eggs in one basket, because I feel like that can make you, that can make me discouraged. If I have 2 parties going on and they both suck, then I'm like, oh, these parties suck. Like, but if I have 4 or 5 parties going on and 2 of them suck, like, I don't care. I just don't focus it there. I'm like, I expect 2 of them to suck, to do nothing, which happens. You know, hostesses don't listen. What, maybe the timing, I don't know. I don't know what it is. You know, maybe Mercury's in retrograde, whatever, stuff I can't control. But what I can control is helping to protect my energy and knowing that my goals are really big and I have to do the action that's going to back up what my goals are. So they're big. This is what I do full time, and failing is not an option. So 4 to 5 parties a week is what I like to do.
I love
So
I
I
love that.
do
I
what?
love that. I love that because it's all about mindset. You just have this knowing, right? You've built your mindset up so strong that there's no other option, there's no plan B, and you just have a knowing. Like you've written the names down of the people and you see them every day. You keep your goals in front of you, and I think that's so key.
It's super important. And what was I going to say?
So is it SynShare that you use to be able
I
to
use
run that?
Post My Party.
Oh, Post My
Post My
Party.
Party.
So you
Visibly
can
is
just
one,
generate it.
SyncShare is one. Yeah. So I've got, and then I just kind of update it. Like, it's not something I love to do, but I know right now we have to update it frequently. So like every 2 weeks or so, like I'll go in and update it. And I always, you know, it just depends. Like if the hostess is someone that loves Zaya and I haven't offered, I might be like, you know, this could be your launch party. You know, and just like throw things out there like that. And I always make sure in my VIP group and with so many parties too, like you want to make sure when you're adding people to your group that you've got something for them to be engaged in. So like I'm always giving away my hostess rewards, you know, or saying like I always have something fun going on in my group to keep people engaged and to keep them purchasing. And it gives me a reason to follow up as well. So like on those new release Wednesdays, like, hey, check out our new releases. And like, yeah, I'm doing this thing, you know, right now I'm doing something in my group where every $2,000 spent, I'm going to give away a pair of capris and a Havana tank to somebody. So every $50 purchase is 1 entry. And again, if my group is, you know, people pop in. So when I'm following up with party people, like adding to your group is key, constantly just increasing your warm network. Like that is super important for, you know, growing your team and keeping up your sales, right? So in the parties, I'll just be like, hey, thank you so much for, like, I definitely do it after they purchase. So like when someone purchases, I won't wait for, like, I won't expect that everybody's going to see my posts. The magic is in Messenger. Like 100%. Okay. Like you have to get in alone in the room with them. Not like I have 3,000 friends. I don't see when everybody posts, but when they hit me up in Messenger, I'm on that, right? So I'll get into Messenger. I'll say, thank you so much for your purchase. Hop in my group where, you know, you can stay up on the new releases, on any restocks, and I do lots of fun giveaways, right? So yeah, like I don't waste my time like trying to friend. I mean, if you don't have a huge network, that's definitely not a waste of time. But I feel like sometimes people will spend their energies doing activities that are not income producing, and their energy could have been better spent elsewhere, you know, rather than like friending a bunch of people that are never gonna see your message, you know, and they're like, I spent 2 hours today doing that. And it's like, well, have you like worked with your warm people yet? Like, have you gone through your group and done that? You know?
That's a great idea. Yeah, because we kind of forget about our warm people sometimes because we just want to keep building our cold market, right? That's a good
Yeah.
reminder. I do have a
Yeah.
question because I know somebody's probably going to ask, but how do you find that many hostesses to run a party like that many a week?
Okay. So I have like 3,000 friends.
Oh, okay, so you'll
I,
get into Messenger and just kind of ask people, would you like to host a party?
yep. And oh, I'll just say like, you know, I don't love the word party.
Mhm.
I feel like verbiage is so key. Like I'll say pop-up. Do you want to host an online
Okay.
pop-up? Do you want to snag some free and half off clothes? Like I make it about them. And sometimes, you know, sometimes I might say, you know, would you like to snag some free or half off clothes and help me build my business? It just depends. And I'll just kind of, you know, try some different verbiages, and if something's not working, then I'll switch it up. But dealing with the objections for that too is important, because, you know, like people say, oh, all my friends got laid off. I'll go over to their Facebook page to see if I can see how many friends they have. And if I see that someone has like 800 friends, I sass back and I say, so, okay, like with all due respect, you're telling me that you know that all 800 of your friends don't have money? You know, like they don't know. They don't know that at all. And so sometimes, you know, we have to, it's like this all across the board with asking for the parties, with sponsoring. We have to, and with our team members too, like we have to cast a vision for them that maybe they didn't see. That's not their job to be thinking about that vision. That's your job as the CEO of your business to cast that vision for them and go, and sometimes just go, and be persistent, right? Like be persistent in what you're trying to accomplish. So in saying like, hey, you know what, if they go, well, nobody buys, or like my parties suck, you go, you know, I just like, it really doesn't matter because I have an automatic posting template. And if the party sucks, like no big deal. I always appreciate somebody that's willing to try to help me build my business. So then they feel good about, you know, at least like trying to make an effort, and you've at least tried to deal with their objection.
That's great. I'm gonna have to check out that app because that just makes things so seamless, right? Then you're not on your phone like
Oh, the post
24/7.
my party?
Yeah,
What?
because then you're not on your phone like 24/7.
Post
It just
my party is, yes, that's right. And that's why I can have those parties too. And it's like, yes, I do host as coach, you know, I do send them like, send this verbiage, post these pictures, you know, send it to 50 people so we can try to get 25. So I do put that work in, but if their party sucks, I'm not putting any energy into it, you know, like my posts are just rolling out and it can die. It can just die, you know, 6 feet under, whatever. I have the other ones, you know, and you know, my parties are not freaking amazing either, you guys. Like they're nothing special at all. Like they might even suck, Okay. But, and like they average like 200 to 600 a party. You know what have been my biggest parties, and I've gotten a lot added to my group, have been my fundraising parties. And I've had 3 and they've all done over 2,000. And they're the only parties that I've had that are $2,000 parties. So like, once a month, and it's a great way to increase your warm market, you know, too, is, I donate 50% of my profit to, a charity.
And I think that's good. That's good for, we have some new reps on, so that's good for them to know that not all parties are going to be amazing. Not all, but like, I remember
No.
I had 4, this was my second month into business. I had 4 parties that month, and each one did 0. I mean,
Yeah. You know, and
reevaluate,
parties are
right?
not always all about making, yeah. And also, thinking about, yes, what you could do, know better, you know, new, better, and different. But also, focusing on if you can add even one new person from that party to your group, right? Because you just never know. Like, you know, that one person could be your next double Zaya rep, you know, that you signed up. So, not like turning, frustration into fascination, and just saying like, you know, and if there's a sideline, or if you've got an upline, or if you're struggling, asking for help, because if you don't know something, how are you going to learn if you don't ask for help? And it's not your upline's responsibility for, you know, to be like babysitting you. Like, you have to say like, hey, I'm struggling doing this, you know, this, and then I'll be like, send me a screenshot. What are you saying? You know, are you talking too much? Like, hey, let me go look through your group. Like, whatever the problem is, like, if they want to work on it, they need to let me know, because I am not a mind reader. And, you know, we are all our own CEO. Like, we have to be responsible and put our big girl panties on and have accountability and be honest with ourselves about the action that we're taking. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really great. Do you guys have any other specific questions? If you could give us like the biggest tip that you have in growing your team, like your most favorite or your most impactful tip for growing your team, what would that one thing be? The attraction
Just
marketing, or?
to never to ask everyone. Ask everyone and do not judge, because I mean, like, doctors do this, lawyers do this. Not everybody, like, I like money, so I'm doing it for money. I need money, you know, but not everybody does need money. Doctors, you know, maybe they want to break from like something so heavy and stressful at their full-time job that they just want to sling leggings because it's fun and there's no stress involved, right? So just remembering, you know, that just like anything, you know, like everything's Photoshop. Like, you see stuff on social media, it's fake. You know, you see somebody smiling all the time and they're, you know, whatever they're doing, like, you don't know what's really going on with them. And thinking about what you could be giving to somebody rather than what you could be getting when you are asking that, because I feel like a lot of people, I hear it a million times, I don't want to be annoying. You know, it's not about you, right? Like, what if somebody is struggling to pay their mortgage or put food on the table and they're wondering how they are going to get out of it? And you are the angel that pops into their messenger and says, hey, I have a lifeline for you, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. You could be changing somebody's life. So Amber,
Hardcore.
do you cold message, or would you only pop into their inbox if it's a warm mess or a warm contact?
Yeah, I cold message for fun. The best, like, I don't, again, spend a ton of time on it, but I will, just if I like, just to break up monotony, because like, I don't want to bore myself. And really, this is a pretty boring job, right? Because we do the same thing over and over and over and over again. There's no like super secret, like, you know, it's the same thing. It's monotony that builds success, right? And so sometimes just to get myself out of like autopilot or just to like switch things up, yeah, I'll go through my friend suggestions, look at our mutual friends, and might say something just like, well, what I found to be the most successful is just what I say to anyone to grow my group. Like, hey, I see you like activewear and I have an online shop. We get new stuff every week and I do a lot of fun giveaways. Would you like a link to check it out?
So is that the message you'd send them for business opportunity?
You know, I feel like most of the time that hitting people hard like that isn't as successful as just trying to get them into your group. I
Okay.
feel like they're more likely to join your group than to, but I could be wrong. Do you, like, you do you, you're not me. And, you know, you have to do what works for you. So that's just what I have found, that people are more willing to join my group than to just go right into hearing about the biz when I don't know them at all. But on, you know, yeah, on Instagram, I might say something sometimes like, you know, you're already doing what I've been getting paid pretty well to do. Like, do you want to hear more about it? Cause yeah, so
That's
I have to
perfect.
switch it up.
Yeah. Well, if there's no other questions, I think you've given us some really solid tips to build on.
I
Does
hope
any,
so. I hope you guys are gonna get out there and just like you're on fire, you know, like, and just seriously ask everybody, because I mean, $500 worth of clothes for, you know, 300 like is an amazing deal. And you know, you never know. Um, you just never know. And I think it helps people to think they're going to sign up for the discount. And, you know, I let them, because, you know, they tell themselves like, it's okay to do this scary thing because it's just for the discount. But then maybe when they get in on the inside, they're like, wait, what? Like, people are like, this is awesome. Like, people are, no, I'm not going to let this pass me by. And if they, you know, and I'll tell them like, hey, if you hate it or you suck, you know, you can always cancel at any time. I'll always support whatever it is that you want to do. And, you know, if they end up, you know, quitting again, because I just feel like a lot of people, if they're really going to do this for the discount, like, they're not going to like paying that $15 a month, you know, website fee forever. At some point, they're going to quit. They're going to go back to being your customer if it's something that's not meant for them. So I always think, to sponsor the masses and raise the stars.
that's great. Yeah, we have some
Yeah.
solid tips to build on here. So we'll get the recording up in the group and we'll post the key takeaways, and I'm sure everybody is going to learn something. Do
All
you guys have
right.
no more
I
questions?
challenge you guys, get in your order history, follow up with every single person that's ordered in the last month or two, and just
That
say, hey, this is the promo that's going on. I wanted to see if you wanted to hear more about it.
See, that's something that is new to me because I don't go through my order history and message them like that. So that, like you said, you have a list already. That's so golden.
Mm-hmm.
So golden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on, Amber. Have a good night,
You're
everybody.
welcome.